Aloha and good morning, everybody, from the big island of Hawaii in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Wow, it's already Monday. So a little bit about my journey, my health journey or my unwell journey. In December of 2017, on my 48th birthday, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, and that is a blood plasma cancer. And I jumped right into traditional chemotherapy for 10 weeks. I had a compression fracture in my T8 vertebrae. And after 10 weeks of chemotherapy, my oncologist said, "Oh, that tumor that was in your spine that was about to paralyze you is now gone." And I did not have that information when we had started. Probably a smart thing. And right when I was doing well on the chemotherapy, my 81-year-old father got hit by a car crossing the street. So I didn't have to. I chose to stop taking care of myself in order to care for him because I'm the only family member here on the island. And that was 6 months of intensive hospitalization and rehab. So my body is actually a little bit magic, and I suspect all of your bodies are as well, because I managed to get through all of that without needing to go back into chemotherapy for myself. I had never been in remission from the traditional, but just managed to keep going. And then I traveled, and at this time, I kept looking for all sorts of alternatives and herbs, and I did oxygen therapy in the tube and all sorts of things, and it really just helped me maintain and keep going. I traveled for 2 months at the end of 2019 for hands-on energetic body work, and then I came back to Hawaii, and my roommate moved out, so I had more space to myself. And then in June of 2019, I was twice as sick as I was when I was first diagnosed. So it was going down pretty quickly. I was admitted to the hospital for my second round of traditional chemotherapy and had a very intensive 6 months of weekly infusions and all sorts of other things. Then my 50th birthday rolled around. That was my target. I wanted to be well enough to turn 50 and have a big party with all of my friends and family, which we had in December of 2019 before everything else went crazy in 2020. And only 4 weeks after I was put on maintenance with round 2, the numbers started going back up, and I didn't want to dilly-dally. So I launched into round 3 of traditional chemotherapy, which was in January. And I'm on the maintenance phase now, again, after round 3. And my side effects have always been pretty low. Again, I think there's something going on with my mental state. And when I chose to go on chemotherapy in June of 19, I was really approaching it from the quality of life perspective. And living is quite a good quality of life, rather than, heading downwards into the grave. So I had a lot of judgments, and once I got past that and just chose it, that's when my mental state could keep going with the positives of, okay, this is, contributing to what I want. And my target was the 50th birthday. And of course, I can always change my mind. I have great doctors where I can tell them, you know what, I want to stop this, take a break, do something different. Now, I always want everything fixed or done yesterday, as probably many of us on this call does as well, especially with our bodies. When we're aching and not, happy with that, can't we just have that yesterday, please? So, and I've worked with energy for over 15 years, I'd say probably my whole life, but specifically energy and energetics and hands-on body work for the last 12 years in varying modalities. And when I went on my 3rd round of chemotherapy in January, of course, I Googled and looked at all sorts of other alternatives. And what else could I add to my life that would add to the quality of my life? And I actually ran into Limbic Arc, the website, and didn't call to me. A couple weeks later, a friend drops the link into my Facebook Messenger. Oh yeah, I've seen that, thank you. Still didn't call to me. 3rd time's a charm. A new friend of mine in a coaching program that we're both on had started using Limbic Arc a month ago and was posting things on her Facebook page. And I thought, okay, so I messaged her directly and I said, what's going on? You know, are you getting results? What you seeing? So she set me up with the free trial. 2 days later, I had already upgraded. So for me, it really is about a quality of life. And what I adore about Limbic Arc is just how personalized it is. When we did the first custom spark, I looked at the ingredients and I was already sold from the perspective of that list, using my own voice. Like, your voice and your touch are so powerful because they're representatives, they're vibrational representatives of your body. And your body is so intelligent and so smart, like much smarter than I am, for sure, with what it needs. These ingredients included all of the alternatives that I had searched for. And some of these alternatives, you know, they're hard to find if you can buy them at all, or they're expensive. And if my body only needs a little bit to get somewhere, I still have to invest and buy the entire package, or I have to wait until it comes from Japan. You know, it had some really rare mushrooms, and I was like stunned. And I was like, wow, I could turn this on with just my voice whenever my body requires it, because it's the smarty pants and I'm not so smart. So it really is a quality of life and the personal spark. And for the first, so it's just about a month that I've been playing with Limbic Arc, and it's not a replacement for anything. It's an addition to, because like I keep saying, I don't know what my body really requires, and it might require something for 3 or 4 days. I hopped on the Super Boost Saturday with Carl this past Saturday, which was really, really great because I actually heard things that were possible. Because again, I wanted it all fixed yesterday, but right now I'm giving myself the space to be with it and to really acknowledge that, okay, it's taken years for my body and I to get here as ill or as well as we are. So it might take a little longer than 24 hours of one boost to take care and address a bunch of things. So I took a bunch of those really great boosts on the quantumnomads.net website, and I combined the 3 of them. I created a custom with all the ingredients that are currently available. There's a few that still haven't been added to the library, but I'll add those when they are. And I turned that on, and I'm committing to 14 days to run that, in addition to my regular custom Spark Scan boost. And then I added one other. And so the custom boost I mixed up from the .net website is the stem cell production, I think, stem cell pro, the blood cleansing, and the bone support. So all 3 of those are really, really, really what multiple myeloma can use because it's a blood cancer, and no surgery is possible and no radiation is possible. It's really all chemotherapy, or what else do you got? Because my doctors aren't offering anything else. They don't even offer me, you know, food ideas. They don't even say get off sugar and change your diet and exercise, because they're all about the drugs. So limbic arc has allowed me to manage and actually improve my life and the quality of my life without having to ingest anything, without having to consult 20 million other doctors or go to the health food store and keep trolling and reading all of these. And I'm not saying don't do research, because I definitely love all those little pop-up windows that tell me what the ingredient is for. And I can turn that off if it kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies, or if I have any doubts whatsoever, I can unclick that. And then if there's things that I know, because I'm the one that has the relationship and the conversation with my own body, which I highly recommend, is, you know, if you're familiar with muscle testing, keep muscle testing, and all, you know, don't exclude anything you already got in your wheelhouse. Like if you got tools, this is something you can add to everything else you got. Because I still take, you know, my antiviral, I still take my aspirin, I still take, but I sleep better, and my skin is getting better. There's been some really, really dry patches about the size of a silver dollar. Those are fading. Those are going away, which is really great, because no amount of lotion has been able to take care of any of that. And I really attribute this to taking the time to play with the different sparks over a few weeks, and then looking at it and going, okay, this is a commitment and this is going to take time. And I am a curious one. I love science and I love playing with them. And I pushed it to the limit in the first few weeks. I had some pretty big detox days. I don't recommend it. But if that's what you need to get where you need to go, and limbic arc can contribute to that, go for it. I think the way I'll end is, there's so many residual things in our bodies from all of our years. Some have been quality years and some have not been so quality years. And through limbic arc and the customization, the personalization, and the true magic of our voices, because everybody's voice is different. And as Carl was saying earlier, every day it's going to be different, or over time. So I'm really curious, and I'm really excited to report back after I do 14 days of these custom boosts. And friends of mine and family that I've already introduced, they're waking up without headaches. Their pain is reduced. And some of them, yeah, they want to turn it on and have anti-aging and the next morning be, you know, 10 years younger. But, you know, and I'm not saying that that can't happen, because there are miracles out there. But just, yeah, I'm so grateful, because there's also greater peace and calm in my life, where I'm not as influenced by just kind of the frenetic energies of the world. And I wish health and wellness for everybody. And if this is something that calls to you, you'll know. And if this is something you want to add, I'm here. All these wonderful people are here. Bob and Carl and Daniel. And, you know, it's been great to hop on every day, or when it works for me. And that's about it. I mean, I could probably go on forever, but I'll pop in every other day or so and give my favorite boost. Thanks, guys.